Welcome to Brick by Brick, the real estate show. I'm your host, D. Mayo, realtor here in Texas. Hope everyone's having a great day. And remember, we're all in this together when I present the case this week, D's Rant. But as we always do on here, it's time to kind of recap last week. Appreciate Randy Connell, property manager that handles property management, coming on the show and discussing that important topic. I think we learned a lot of new things. Hopefully, if you're in need of a property manager, you give Randy a call. If you can't get his information, just please reach out to me and I'll give you that information. But last week was really good. Heard from several people. They thought the show was great. And I intend to have more guests on here in the future. We got inspection people, home warranty people, home staging, which is really important, especially if you have vacant property. I think you need to really have that when you go to sell on the market. But we'll have some more of that in the future. But before I begin my rant, as we always start the show off, and we ask that famous question: Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? One thing I talked about last week, and Randy will be receiving a free cup as all the guests that come on here receive a free mug from me. But we got the swag in for everyone to enjoy a nice cup of coffee when they're here, and they get to take it home with them. But today's rant, it's real estate related and it's not real estate related. So buckle up. Don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We continue as a country to go deeper and deeper and deeper into that four-letter word, debt. And it's a word that can actually just really make things bad for you. In real estate, I talk to clients about it all the time. Where are you at with your debt? And then the other thing we're going to talk about is the tariffs. Everybody's talking about tariffs. What is it costing my business? Is this going to cost me my business? One of the things I want to make sure I tell everybody today is stay calm. Stay calm during this process with the markets. Tariffs and stock market is trying to drive everybody a little bit crazy. But I don't really matter what party you're in. I got friends on both sides of the aisle. I'm a true independent. I consider myself an independent. I think freely for myself. I don't get classified into a group. Anyone that knows me knows I think a little bit different about things in life. But tariffs and stock market can scare people if you listen to the news, if you listen to TV every day. The stock market goes up and down. You know, it goes a great day one day, historical day, and then you have a historical bad day. So you got to make sure you keep things in perspective. Tariffs, everybody says, oh, tariffs are bad for us. Well, you know, the other countries are doing pretty well with tariffs on us. So, you know, ever how you feel about it, it can change things. I was listening to a show earlier today, and this guy was talking about, this is hurting my business. It's going to cost me an extra $53,000 for this product to get it in from this country. And so the host of the show said, well, what were you paying before this? And the guy had no clue. So is the $53,000 more? Is that, I mean, how does he know if he doesn't know what the original number was? How did he know what the $53,000 was? So, I mean, he doesn't know his business acumen. And, you know, so you get some of these experts and people panicking. So make sure, you know, you read into it and understand, hey, gas prices are lower right now. A barrel of gas is around, well, not gas, a barrel of oil is around $60 a barrel right now. And it's dropped in the last 2 months from $71. So, you know, there are some positive things going on. I think we need a reset. I truly do. This opinion is mine and mine only. But I think we need a reset on a lot of things going on. We have a national debt that every 100 days we spend $1 trillion more to the debt. So you can't run a household that way. You can't buy houses that way. Like I said, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent like me. I don't really like labels. The only label I like is the label realtor, and I'm here to help you. But this thing about debt, I see it affecting a lot of people. I see it every day in my business. I see it affect young couples, not understanding how do they save, how do we really function as homeowners in this country. One of the things I always kind of go back to when I talk to people about investing, or if I talk to people about investing in real estate, buying real estate, is from Proverbs 13:11. Uh, it's a great proverb to kind of think about, especially if you're young. You got time. Time is on your side right now. But Proverbs 13:11, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. So, that's just a real good one to repeat. Let me repeat that. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. And you can do that. You can do that with a budget, making sure you're sticking to a budget. Your household should have a budget. Every bill should be written down in a spreadsheet or on a notepad. It should be ran on a budget. We have to get that way as a country. And I think that's the thing that's kind of fearful to a lot of people. They hear about budget cuts, they hear about all these cuts, and there's been a lot of waste, abuse, and fraud. You can't deny that. We have a person over that's looking over those kind of things. I'm kind of an Elon Musk fan. I think he's been very successful in many things that he's done. And I think he's looking at it with the right eyes and really going after what needs to be fixed. And I think we all can agree, have some common ground. Some people, I understand, you're a Democrat, you're never going to change your mind. You're a Republican, you're never going to change your mind. But we have got to fix this national debt one way or the other. And, I got all the clips to show all the past presidents, no matter what party they're in, talking about balancing the budget, making cuts here, making cuts there. So we're all in this together, and we cannot be panicking. One of my great high school friends, Amanda, sent me a message. She says, "Are we the only ones that see it?" I like to think I'm the only one that sees it, but there's other people that see it. And one of the things that she said was, we don't panic. And I think that's very, very true. We don't panic. You can't panic during times like this. That's when costly mistakes happen. But so, so part of this, talking about tariffs and stock market, it's about coaching people. And that's kind of what I like to do. A lot of people say, well, you're a realtor, you're in sales. Yeah, but you really, and one of the things I say to my clients is when you go through a transaction with me, I hope you learn something about real estate, because it's a huge transaction and you should know what you're signing. You should know what you're looking at. And coaching is in my blood. If the truth was known, I always wanted to be a high school football coach. And I never made it out of college, and to move to that field. And I did so well in college, they told me I could leave early. But one of the things that I think, coaches do, always surround themselves with good players, always coaching players up, making an average player a great player. And that's kind of like what I like to do during a real estate transaction or working with an investor. Even my other business I do with management consulting is working with managers to make them better. One of my mentors, Joe Lefford, told me years ago, when I was like 18, 19, starting off my career in retail at the time. And he told me, he says, D, you may not be the smartest person in the room, but you are smart if you surround yourself with great people. He didn't say smart people. He said great people. And that means great in their job, in their business acumen of knowing how to run a business, but also great in the attributes that makes them a good human being. And I've always tried to remember that when I had people around me working with me. When I ran close to a $200 million district out of North Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, was all in that mix. I had 19 stores up that way. And, It's always had great managers running the stores. And I don't use the word great lightly there, because they were good human beings and good managers of people. And that's what a coach is. That's what a coach does. That's why I try to help people with real estate, the kind of a financial coach, to show them how they list everything down. And we do that snowball effect with their finances, and just really help people get through tough times. It's tax season, and my wife's a financial analyst for a company, and so she knows where every dime I ever thought about spending and is. And it's the joke around here is my wife could split a penny and show you the side of Abraham that got shot. And I think it's true. And one of the things we always do around tax season, I kind of go back through my subscriptions on my phone and all this kind of stuff. And you know, it's one of those things that you don't know you're spending it. If you're not looking at it, you're spending it, and you can save money. Because a lot of people come to me and say, D, I'm struggling to pay my light bill. How can I get involved in the stock market? Because a lot of these people that are complaining about stock market, you start talking to them and asking them, well, how much have you got in there? They don't have nothing. They have a friend that has money in the stock market, and they're hearing about this being bad on the news, and they just kind of want to talk about it. And it's never too late to start. With $100 a month, you can start dropping money into some type of fund. But I just think it's when you look at things around your household that you're spending money on, your debt is in bad shape. Your debt as a country is in bad shape. So, it starts at home, starts with us. And, I saved $40 on some subscriptions I hadn't used in a year, and because we do this every year. And somebody says, D, that's just $40 a month. I mean, is that really going to help you out? Well, yeah. I mean, I think little steps start, because let me read this to you again. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little, let's replace that with $40 by $40, will increase it. So there's always a little bit you can save here, a little bit you can save there. And that's where I help people with financial coaching that I can help them with as well. And, I had great coaches in my younger days, starting off in Little League with Birch Wright, Gus Furlong, my dad. Had some great coaches on the sideline that always encouraged the kids. I've never seen a coach in Little League ever yell at a player like I do now. But back in the day, they always encouraged us to keep striving to be our best. And I think that's what coaches do. And that's why I love helping people. I think it's one of the traits of a good coach. I had another great coach in high school, Coach Al Hughes. And hopefully he'll get to see this. He's on Facebook, and I'll share this on Facebook. But, he was definitely a mentor of mine. I loved the way that he worked hard to make sure we strived to be our best. It wasn't about, you got to be the best on the field. You got to be the best at yourself. And it's that personal accountability. So, that's kind of my rant. We got a debt problem. We got to go through some pains to fix this as a country. We got to make some big cuts. We got to get rid of waste, abuse, and fraud. It needs to go away. And I know everybody's definition of those are a lot different than everyone else. Everybody has their own opinion. I will say this: don't ever lose a family member or friend over politics. There's common ground to be met. There's toughness that has to be done. If you saw some of my posts, I'm pretty brutally honest with what I think. But that's okay. We're all in this together. But I'd like to leave you this comment that I got from Randy Connell, my friend that was here last week. And by the way, real quick, Randy, your cup is on the way. So be ready for your swag from Brick by Brick Real Estate Show. But he sent me this quote, and I think it's real good. Immature coach wants attention. Average coaches want respect. Great coaches don't give a dang either way. They show up day in, day out with a sole purpose of serving those they're blessed to coach. And I know I'm blessed to help people out with real estate. I know I'm blessed to help people out on learning new management techniques. I'm very blessed. So this rant started off talking bad things about our country, things that are going on. But remember, we're blessed to be here, and it's a blessing for me to help you. And if you need my help, please reach out to me. As we like to say around here, put mayo on it. Everybody go have a great week, a great weekend. Weather's beautiful in Houston, and let's go out and have a great time. Thank you very much. Take care.